At the beginning of 2024, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, disappeared from the spotlight. After an abdominal surgery announced in January, her prolonged absence raised questions and speculations worldwide. While the British media accepted the official version released by Kensington Palace, internet users and independent journalists began to notice inconsistencies in the narrative. The prolonged silence, the few updates, and the contrast with the open approach regarding King Charles III's health only made the situation more enigmatic. When in March, the palace released a supposedly recent photo of Kate, the effect was the opposite of what was expected. Instead of putting an end to the rumors, the manipulated image fueled even more suspicions. The story, already surrounded by uncertainties, took on unexpected proportions when a mysterious video emerged, followed by a late and vague announcement about a cancer diagnosis. But after all, why did the royal family act this way? What really happened to Kate Middleton during these months of mystery? Welcome to another night where mysteries never sleep. I'm Midnight, and this is 7 Nights. Before we begin, I'd like to ask for your help. Like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, but it makes a huge difference in helping YouTube deliver the videos to more people and allowing me to continue bringing this content to you. I'm counting on you. Let's get into the video. The British royal family is an expert at keeping secrets. But this time, it seems like something got out of control. At the beginning of 2024, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, simply vanished. Kensington Palace tried to shut the matter down quickly, stating that she had undergone abdominal surgery and would remain away from public duties until after Easter. But did this explanation really make sense? Think about it. Since joining the royal family, Kate had never been away from the spotlight for so long. Even during difficult pregnancies, she always made appearances, even if just for a few seconds. But now nothing. No photos, no videos, no casual sightings. As time passed, the silence only grew. And here's an interesting detail. During the same period, King Charles III announced that he had cancer. But unlike what happened with Kate, the monarch's health was handled with transparency, constant updates, detailed information. So why the extreme secrecy around her? If the princess was simply recovering, why didn't they at least release an image of her resting at home? A spontaneous photo, taken by someone on the team, would have been enough to put an end to the speculations. But no, the palace chose absolute silence. And believe me, when the royal family chooses not to speak about something, it's because something big is happening behind the scenes. The questions intensified when William, always so protective of Kate, began acting strangely. In public appearances, he seemed uncomfortable whenever his wife's name was mentioned. When asked about her, his response was always vague, "She's fine, recovering." But that was it. No details, no expression of relief or excitement. As if he were following a carefully crafted script. And then comes the inevitable question: why had no one seen Kate? No witnesses, no paparazzi, no nurses or hospital staff leaking information. Nothing. The level of secrecy around her was rare, even by royal standards. This opened the door for even more disturbing theories. Some people began questioning whether the surgery had really happened the way it was described. Could it have been something more serious? Or perhaps the surgery was just an excuse to keep her away for another reason. Theories pointed to problems within the monarchy itself, possible tensions behind the scenes, or even a forced distancing from the media. But if it were just a matter of privacy, wouldn't the palace have found a simpler way to calm the public? The lack of concrete information only fueled more speculation. Some believed Kate might be facing serious medical complications. Others suggested that something much bigger was happening, something the royal family could not or did not want to reveal. And as time passed, the pressure mounted. That's when the palace finally decided to respond. But instead of calming the rumors, they only made things worse. On March 10th, a supposedly recent photo of Kate with her children was released to celebrate Mother's Day. That should have been definitive proof that she was fine, right? Wrong. Within hours, the world's biggest news agencies began taking the image down, claiming there were clear signs of digital manipulation. Distorted hands, strange shadows, an editing pattern that simply did not match the level of professionalism expected from the royal family. And here arises the most important question of all. Why manipulate a photo if the goal was to prove that Kate was fine? If the princess was truly recovering at home, a simple, genuine photo would have resolved everything. But instead, the royal family chose to release an edited image, which only reinforced suspicions that there was something to hide. What if Kate really couldn't appear? What if, for some reason, it was impossible to show what she actually looked like? From that moment on, the speculation reached a new level. The case was no longer just a British mystery, but a global phenomenon. People from all over the world started analyzing every detail of the situation, trying to understand what was happening. Kate Middleton's disappearance had become one of the greatest enigmas of the year. Now the question remains, will this story have a convincing explanation, or are we witnessing one of the biggest cover-ups in the history of the British monarchy? If the royal family's intention was to calm the public, they failed miserably. On March 10, 2024, after weeks of silence, Kensington Palace finally released a photo of Kate Middleton alongside her children. It was a clear attempt to put an end to the rumors. But what happened next turned this image into a global scandal. The photo, supposedly taken by William, showed Kate smiling next to the children in what appeared to be a calm and happy moment. But something seemed off. Within hours, image editing experts began pointing out details that didn't make sense. Small errors that might have gone unnoticed at first glance, but became glaring under closer examination. Kate's hands were strangely misaligned. The contours of her clothing appeared blurry in some areas. The shadows were irregular. But the worst part, major global news agencies such as Reuters, the Associated Press, and Agence France-Presse pulled the image from circulation, stating that it had been digitally manipulated. This is an extremely rare move in journalism, something that only happens when there is concrete evidence of alteration. And that's where the inevitable question arises. Why did the royal family edit the photo? If the goal was to show that Kate was well, all they needed to do was publish an authentic image. But instead, they chose to release something manipulated, throwing even more fuel on the fire. Was it an amateur mistake? Or was it a sign that, for some reason, Kate could not be photographed at that moment? The pressure became so intense that, the following day, Kate Middleton herself did something unusual. She publicly admitted that she had edited the image. But her explanation was vague. She simply said that she enjoys experimenting with edits and apologized for the confusion. And this only raised more doubts. After all, what was the real reason for altering a photo whose sole purpose was to prove that she was fine? It didn't take long for photography experts to dig even deeper. Some suggested that the image might have been assembled from older photos, combining elements from past pictures of Kate with new edits. Others pointed out that the lighting and texture of the princess's skin appeared inconsistent, as if they had been digitally smoothed. And of course, the theories didn't stop there. In forums and on social media, even more sinister hypotheses emerged. Some suggested that Kate might not have been home at that moment at all, and that the photo had been fabricated to cover up something bigger. Others began comparing the image to past appearances of the princess, searching for subtle differences that might indicate something unusual. What no one could understand was why the royal family would take such a risk. The British monarchy is known for its strict control over its public image. Everything they release goes through a specialized team trained to avoid exactly this kind of mistake. So how did such an obvious blunder occur? Was it truly an error or a desperate attempt to manipulate public opinion? The situation reached a critical point. The doubts were no longer just coming from the internet, but from respected journalists and even British public figures. For the first time, Kensington Palace saw its credibility being questioned on a large scale. If before the theories about Kate Middleton were dismissed as exaggerations, now they had undeniable grounding. The royal family itself had provided proof that something was wrong. But if the photo was fake, what else could be? The Kategate scandal, as the media dubbed it, only reinforced the idea that the princess was wrapped in a much bigger mystery. Kensington Palace tried to correct the mistake, but the damage was already done. Now, an even more troubling question remained. Where was Kate Middleton? The royal family needed to act fast. The fiasco of the edited photo not only failed to calm the rumors, but intensified them. Kensington Palace was cornered. If Kate was fine, why hadn't she appeared convincingly? Just a few days after the controversy, a new element emerged in the story. A video recorded by a passerby showing the princess walking alongside William in a market. The footage was received as the long-awaited proof that Kate was alive and recovering. But it only took a closer analysis for new doubts to arise. The video, filmed from a distance and of questionable quality, presented intriguing inconsistencies. The way she walked, her posture, even the shape of the woman's face next to the prince seemed just a bit different. Facial recognition experts were consulted, and some pointed out subtle differences between the woman in the video and the real Kate Middleton. The nose appeared slightly thinner, the chin more rounded, and the facial expression did not match the princess's known patterns. Was this just an effect of the low-quality footage? Or were we facing something even more unsettling? The body double theory began to gain traction. Some celebrities have used lookalikes at public events to mislead the media, but could the British monarchy be doing the same? The idea seemed absurd, but the situation was no longer following any conventional logic. If the goal was to put an end to speculation, why choose a video filmed so conveniently, without a single clear image? Once again, the palace remained absolutely silent. No official statement was issued to confirm or deny whether the woman in the video was really Kate. The lack of a clear response only fueled the doubts even further. If they were so concerned about ending the rumors, wouldn't it have been easier to organize a legitimate public appearance, leaving no room for questions? The internet reacted immediately. Side-by-side comparisons surfaced, highlighting every tiny difference between the Kate in the video and the princess's past appearances. Some were subtle, but others were strangely evident. Even the outfit she wore that day raised suspicions, a simple coat and a scarf that covered part of her face. And then a new question arose. If it really was Kate, why didn't she make a simple gesture like waving at the camera? Why did she keep looking straight ahead the entire time, without interacting with anyone? Every detail seemed carefully calculated, as if the goal wasn't to dispel doubts, but simply to create the illusion that she was there. The theory that the monarchy might have used a body double may sound like something out of a movie, but it's not as improbable as it seems. Governments, corporations, and public figures have resorted to similar strategies on multiple occasions. Image manipulation technology and the use of doubles are well-known tools in the world of power. The only remaining question was why? If Kate truly couldn't appear, what was the reason? A more serious health issue than what had been disclosed? A crisis within the royal family requiring her removal? Or something even deeper, something the public couldn't even begin to imagine? With every attempt to fix the narrative, the monarchy seemed to sink deeper into the web of mysteries it had created. Rather than closing the case, the market video only opened the door to even more questions. And now, the real doubt was not just where Kate Middleton was, but who was really in that video? This is not the first time a woman in the British royal family has disappeared from the spotlight without convincing explanations. Long before Kate Middleton, other female figures within the monarchy went through strange periods of absence, followed by carefully controlled narratives. Now, in the face of this new mystery, many people have started noticing a pattern. The most emblematic case, without a doubt, is that of Diana, Princess of Wales. In her final years, she was constantly watched, pursued by the press, and according to reports, targeted by secret operations within the monarchy itself. What began as a fairy tale turned into a silent war between Diana and the institution she represented. The tragic outcome of her story remains surrounded by theories to this day. Decades later, Meghan Markle faced a similar scenario, though in a different context. Married to Prince Harry, she claimed to have been isolated, manipulated, and silenced by forces within the palace. Her departure from the royal family came with disturbing revelations about the control and censorship that existed behind the scenes. What caused so many royal women to go through such similar situations? Now, with Kate Middleton, signs of a possible forced removal have surfaced once again. For years, she fulfilled her role impeccably, discreet, elegant, and always following the monarchy's protocols. But did something change? Did something make the royal family see her presence as a problem? One theory suggests that Kate may have started questioning certain traditions within the monarchy. If that were true, any attempt to step out of line could have been reason enough for a strategic removal. After all, maintaining the royal family's image has always been the top priority. When someone threatens that stability, the response can be ruthless. But there's another crucial detail. Unlike Diana and Meghan, Kate is the wife of the future king. This means that any decision regarding her image doesn't just affect her personal reputation. It impacts the very structure of the British monarchy. If something truly serious happened, the royal family would have more than enough reasons to conceal the truth from the public. Her prolonged absence and the way the palace tried to control the narrative only raised further suspicions. First, absolute silence. Then a manipulated photo. After that, a suspicious video. Every step seemed to follow a carefully crafted script to maintain appearances, without providing any solid proof that Kate was actually fine. Looking at history, the royal family has always found ways to deal with figures who became a problem. Some were simply erased from records. Others were forced to live in isolation, far from the public eye. But in today's world, with social media and cameras everywhere, would it really be possible to hide someone for so long without the truth eventually coming out? With every new attempt to shut down the conversation, the palace only fueled more questions. If everything was normal, why was Kate's situation handled so differently from other royal members who faced health issues? What made this case so unique? Every piece of this puzzle points to something much bigger than a simple recovery period. The issue now isn't just Kate's disappearance. It's about a pattern within the monarchy that has repeated for decades. And the question remains, are we about to see the truth come to light, or will this mystery be buried like so many others before it? When the pressure reached an unsustainable level, Kensington Palace finally broke its silence. On March 22, 2024, Kate Middleton appeared in an official video announcing that she was undergoing cancer treatment. The revelation should have put an end to the speculation, but instead, it raised new questions. The first detail that caught attention was the timing. For nearly 3 months, the British monarchy refused to provide any concrete information about the princess's health. The public had only been fed a manipulated photo and a questionable video. Now suddenly an official statement. Even more curious, the video was released just before Easter, the same date the palace had originally stated Kate would return to public life. Was this a coincidence, or a strategic move to shut down theories before they spiraled further out of control? The content of the recording also raised suspicions. Kate appeared sitting on a garden bench, visibly thinner and frail. Her voice was soft, slow, and carefully controlled. There were no details about the type of cancer or the surgery performed in January. Just a vague message stating that treatment had begun and that she hoped to recover soon. If the goal was transparency, why so many gaps? The palace had been extremely clear about King Charles III's cancer, openly sharing details about his exams and treatment. But in Kate's case, the approach was entirely different. No additional information, no press conferences, no medical updates. Just a carefully scripted video. The timing of this revelation also cannot be ignored. In the days leading up to the announcement, speculation had reached its peak. Major media outlets began openly questioning the princess's prolonged absence. Public pressure was no longer just coming from internet conspiracy theorists, but also from mainstream news sources and even British political figures. The royal family needed a definitive answer. But was this announcement really made when Kate felt ready to speak? Or was it something imposed by the monarchy as a last-ditch effort to contain the chaos? Another point of controversy was how the video was filmed. Unlike other messages released by the royal family, this recording had an unusual tone. It wasn't filmed in an official setting. William was not present beside Kate, and the framing seemed meticulously planned to prevent a broader view of her current health condition. Some body language experts analyzed the video and pointed out that Kate appeared nervous, her expression conveying discomfort and unease. But what really sparked debate was the pacing of her speech. Too slow, almost rehearsed, as if every word had been carefully chosen in advance. If the goal was to end speculation, the monarchy failed once again. To many, the late and vague announcement only reinforced the idea that something bigger was being concealed. If the cancer had been diagnosed months ago, why did it take so long to share the information? And why were details of her treatment kept secret? The public wanted answers, but all they received was yet another fragment of a story full of gaps. Now only one question remained. Was this the final chapter of the mystery, or is there still something the royal family doesn't want us to know? Kate Middleton's disappearance went far beyond a simple post-surgical recovery. In just a few months, the case evolved from a mere public curiosity into one of the biggest mysteries of the year. The prolonged silence, the edited photo, the enigmatic video, and the late cancer announcement created a murky narrative that remains unresolved. But what if this story is just the tip of a much larger iceberg? The British monarchy has always operated behind a curtain of secrecy. Since its inception, scandals have been buried, truths distorted, and public figures have disappeared without a trace. But this is 2024. With social media, artificial intelligence, and an increasingly aware public, maintaining this kind of control has become harder than ever. Looking back, it's impossible not to draw parallels with past cases. Diana, Meghan, and now Kate. The pattern repeats itself. Women who, in some way, seemed to challenge the rigid norms of the royal family ended up being distanced or placed under absolute control. Could Kate, the future queen consort, have been following a path that didn't sit well with the monarchy? There is something odd about the way the palace has handled this entire situation. If it was simply a health matter, why so much resistance to clarifying the facts? Why did every attempt to shut down the rumors only make things worse? No powerful institution makes so many repeated mistakes without a reason. The timing of events also cannot be ignored. The cancer announcement came precisely when theories about her disappearance were at their peak. The edited photo only fueled more suspicion. The market video, instead of convincing people, raised further doubts. And finally, her official statement felt more like a rehearsed script than a genuine testimony. If this was merely a series of missteps, then we are witnessing one of the greatest PR failures in the history of the monarchy. But if it wasn't, then what is really happening behind the gates of Kensington Palace? The truth may take years to come to light, or it may never be revealed. But one thing is certain. Kate Middleton's story has shown that even in modern times, the British royal family still knows how to turn a simple absence into a global enigma. Now the question remains, is this story truly over, or are there still pieces of this puzzle that haven't been uncovered? Kate Middleton's disappearance has become a mystery even the monarchy couldn't control. What started as a simple health-related leave turned into one of the most intriguing stories in recent times. Every new attempt by the palace to put an end to the matter only raised more suspicions. And now, even with the announcement of her illness, many questions remain unanswered. If this mystery has taught us anything, it's that not everything is as it seems behind the walls of the royal family. The story may have been carefully manipulated, the facts may have been distorted, and the truth may be buried beneath layers of secrets. This story is just one piece, and one day maybe you'll see the full puzzle. If this made you think, subscribe, like the video. It helps the channel grow. And don't forget to share. After all, more voices mean more discoveries.